Back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition here, another season, another month of the SEL. The SEL, the StarCraft Evolution League Masters number 7. I'm of course your SI VIP, always enjoyed by these amazing players and by the ByuN chats as well. Welcome one and all. I do apologize, we were supposed to go live an hour ago, but I did sleep in. I did not set an alarm. My apologies, my apologies. I thought I did, but last did miss out on a little bit of the broadcast, but we're going to be jumping on in, catching up, and covering some StarCraft Evolution League. Now, for those of you who are maybe tuning in for the first time, SEL is a mod, or SEL is a tournament league that does run StarCraft on a mod, on a StarCraft Evolution mod. It's a mod that does pit StarCraft 2 versus versus Brood War. SE2 versus Brood War. They are pitted against each other in a 1v1 format. Now, SEL Masters, I believe is the last and the final iteration here of this event, but this is a show match. It's a show match series. Every single iteration, they do have something different. Sometimes it's like a, sometimes it's an 8-player invitational, which is what this is, 8-player invitational, single elimination bracket. Sometimes round robin, sometimes King of the Hills, sometimes just a 1v1 best of like 9 show match. They do kind of adjust the format from month to month. As a reminder as well, HyperOne did of course announce that he was going to be discontinuing some of these events. This is the final SEL Masters. I believe there are still plans to have the SEL Code S League. That would be most likely in September, October-ish, but you know, we've yet to really get any confirmation of that. Regardless, we're here to catch up. We're here to catch up with some SEL Masters. We're going to be jumping into the first round, into the quarterfinals. Now, the plan here tonight is to cover all the quarterfinal matches. Tomorrow, we'll be live covering the semis and the grand finals. That'll be the plan. That will be the plan. Up first, we're going to be jumping into our best of three between Elazer and Mars. Let's go. Let us go. Going to be jumping into our matchup, jumping into our series, jumping to game number 1. Going to be on Golden Wall. Of course, they do have their own custom map pool as well. True. Custom map pool. We be jumping in. CP lights. Yeah. We were live with a podcast last night, of course, but yeah, did end up sleeping in a little bit. It's all good. We made it. That's all that matters. We made it. We made it. So we are going to be jumping in game 1 and spawning in the bottom hand corner of Golden Wall. We have the Polish Zerg player, the Red Zerg. It is Elazer. The SE2 Zerg player, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner we have the blue Protoss, the Brood War Protoss himself, representing 3D Clan. It is Mars. So let us go. Again, this is a blast from the past. Golden Wall, it has been many years since Golden Wall was in the map pool, and we are opening up with a cannon rush. Oh god. We're opening up here with a Forge, with a Cannon Rush. Cannon Rushes are a little bit stronger here in StarCraft Evolution. The rationale for this is because I believe the Pylons do have a little bit of extra HP than normal, so they're a little bit more robust. Cannon Rushes can be even more brutal as a result, and here we go. The Cannon Rush is upon us. First Pylon is going to be thrown down. Now, the second Overlord for Elazer will confirm the cannons, should get eyes on the Pylon, and I believe will. Overlord does wander in. There we go. Does confirm. Does get eyes on this. So Elazer is fully aware. Behind this, Elazer does go for his own hatch gas pool. Standard opener, so far no reaction either. Now is going to be confirmation that it's not going to fake out, so cannons have begun. And we'll see if Elazer fights for his natural. Once again, we are committing. Elazer has the option to cancel, bearing in mind that on Golden Wall we do have a gold base. True, so he's going for the gold. Going for the gold expansion. When it comes to Golden Wall, it does feature unique, it does have a lot of unique features when it comes to our gold expansions here in the center. There's that cancellation. Thankfully, Elazer does not let it finish. And Def Mars expands back at home. It was a macro cannon rush. So this was not meant to be an all-in, only designed to cancel, but the gold base will help Elazer recover as he goes for an all-in. We do have the Roach one behind this. Now, this kind of aggressive follow-up is quite common, so we should be seeing a Stargate opener here out of Def Mars. Bearing in mind the Cybercore is late. It is a delayed Cybercore due to the early Forge and due to the early Expand as well. You have to wait for the gateway to complete. So that is the downside here of the kind of state we're in. And we have to wait for the Cybercore, then wait for the Stargates, and then wait for the... I almost said Void Array, but wait for the Scouts. Is it going to be too late? Stargate has begun. And we do get the Stargate across the map. We do have our backup cannons now on the way. Roaches are morphing into Ravagers in the main. And, I mean, the cannons are at least going to buy time, and they should buy enough time for the Scout production. I mean, the Scout's DPS rate against Roach Ravager is going to be less than that of Void Rays. That is true. For now, though, the cannons are clumped up. Nice piles. Does get one, does get two. Ooh. And again, good enough control here. We do pull back the weakened Ravagers. We can morph the Roaches into Ravagers as well. Cannons are cleaned up. The armor can now push. And again, there is going to be one Scout to defend, but is that really going to be enough? Back at home, we're throwing down another wall of cannons. Here comes the lasers all in. We're rushing across the map. And Def Mars is in trouble. Oh, as a laser Maynards to the gold. Okay. True. Does Maynard over. The first Ravager is going to fall. We're going to get two. Yeah, 1, 2 Ravagers do go down at the same time. Roach Ravager does bust into the natural. Probe's going to be falling. And behind this, the laser is droning. Okay. He's droning up behind this. Roaches that make their way into the main. They shouldn't get surrounded. Oh, no, they're going to get surrounded. But they will still trade. Right? They trade against the probes. Trade as best they can. Back at home, we need queens. We need queens, we need spores, we need anti-air because Scouts they will counterattack. We have more roaches flooding into the main. More probes going down. 15 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Again, this is critical damage. Bearing in mind the laser has a gold expansion. And back at home, it's going to be 3, soon to be 4 queens. No spores yet. True. Yeah, spores, they just now begin. Just further into the main base, so getting up to 23 probe kills in total. Again, critical damage. Def Mars down to 12 workers. Now, it does have all these scouts and can even make another one behind this as well. 3 scouts, that is a lot. They can one-shot drones, I believe. That's where the spores are crucial, and the queen can as well. There we go. I do like that Elazer doubling down. 2 spores at the gold base. We have 3 queens in position as well. In the main base, spores are later, don't get me wrong, but another 2 spores being thrown down as well. So I do appreciate he's doubling down on spore production, just to be safe. The Roach buys more time. Puts back the scouts. Spores are not done. And now Elazer can just tech up. We can tech up, layers on the way. You could argue that this expansion here is going to be exposed and might even be cancelled regarding the third base, but it's fine because the Elazer's economy is still greater than that of his opponent, especially with the gold expansion. It's still fine. Oof. And speaking of, Ooh, and Scout does overextend. One Scout goes down. Brutal start here with Mars. Considering he has so little to work with, we have 2 Scouts on the right-hand side. We have 1 Scout coming into the main. With that layer, we go into a Hydrogen. We go into Spire Tech. Elazer has options. Mars won't get much done. Speaking of Lings, they will be able to go for the counter attack. There's no cannons back at home. They can eventually work down this wall. Yeah, they're working on it. They're going for the Cyber Core. We are going for Hydras behind this, telling us it's just going to be an all-in. We're going for an all-in here. We're not going into like Corruptors or Mutors or anything like that. Link flood into Hydras. Death Mars, he's still recovering. Now we can transfer drones. For now, just using the third base as just for larva. Just for larva, papi. And sure, if given time, Zeph Mars is getting a fleet beacon. He's even mining out the wall here behind his main base to expand and claim a third. Working towards carrier production. But I mean, the all-in is here. Like, what can we do, Pappy? What can we do? You have a wall of cannons. We'll buy time. Elazer, he has yet to open up the southern half of the map, so there's no way for him to punish his expansion, not yet. There we go. Does open it up. Opens up the golden wall. The wall is open. The laser rotates. And this will be a much more accessible position. Things they move their way in. Hydra's a star step. And there's no defensive position here on the high ground either. So Elazer, he can find his way in. Star steps forward. Trickles into the main, getting into the production. And from here, Death Mars cannot defend. They cannot shut this down. Hydras, they push into the main base. Stargate's going to be falling. Fleet beacon as well. There won't be any carriers. Not this time. And with that, GG gets called Elazer. He will claim a lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. Elazer does take a lead. Again, it was a cheeky start here from Death Mars going for the cannon rush. Remember, it all began with the initial macro cannon rush. Elazer went for the one base all in as a response. But not just that, Elazer had the gold. Like, the gold expansion was a big part of that as well. Having a boosted economy, allowing for the all in to snowball out of control, to break through the wall and to get into the mineral line. It was what, 29 drone kills or probe kills? It was insane damage in the main base. And even though the scouts eventually cleaned everything up and eventually tried to fight for map control, it was just too much. Too much damage. GG. And with that, Elazer does take a lead in the series. We're going to be loading game 2, loading into Ruby Rock. Now, I believe the roles are going to be reversed. I'm so used to Crank Gathers. In Crank Gathers, we kind of, we take turns, so we go back and forth when it comes to who plays Brood or who plays SE2. But here in SEL, I believe it is loser's pick. So you can actually double up, depending on what Death Mars wants to do. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Brood War Zerg player. Okay. With the Brood War Zerg, we have the Red Zerg from Poland leading the series 1-0. It is Elazer. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, picking the SC2 Protoss race. Representing Team 3D Clan, it is Death Mars. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into game number 2 here. Death Mars choosing to switch back into SC2. And I can't imagine we'll be going for another forge. No shot. As this time it is going to be a gateway back at home. No forge, no cannon rush, not this time. But welcome to Ruby Rock nonetheless. Ruby Rock is a smaller map of the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression here is favored. We do expect to see, especially with how Elazer was performing in Crank Gathers, we expect to see Elazer go into hyper aggression in the early to mid game. 3 base all-ins is kind of what we expect out of Elazer. We'll see if Deathmars can keep up and defend. Elazer, he was showcasing some hyper-aggressive builds, not just off of 3 bases, but going for fast lairs, going for fast lurker tech as well. We have been seeing some nasty builds here out of Elazer with Brood War Zerg, and we'll see if that trend continues. Shall see. As now we have our standard openers, which is Hatch Gas Pool, Negate Expand into Cybercore. We'll soon see our tech of choice. Deathmars, we're imagining he's going to go for a Stargate opener. I haven't seen too much of Deathmars when it comes to SE2. When it comes to StarCraft 2 play. Obviously, he was hyper aggressive and cheesy in game 1 with Brood War Protoss. But we'll see what he brings to the table here. I can't imagine he'll play standard though. Let's imagine. But now Elazer getting his own macro hatchery up and running. Still joining. Staying in gas, of course. This could be fast lair. This could just be a Hydrogen. Meanwhile, that is a Forge first out of Deathmars. Okay. Forge first into +1 into a Twilight Council after the Forge. This feels like a charge all-in. It feels like +1 in charge and we go for a big 2-base all-in with a Gateway Explosion. It doesn't really make much sense to go for this tech before the 3rd expansion unless we did want to go for said all-in. We're not even going for a fake out at this point here either. True. So very early tech here by Deathmars. Hydrogen is revealed. At least is a part of the wall. So we're joining, saturating 1 link, does get into the main base, gets 1 probe kill, and Elazer, he did not scout the production, did not scout the tech. So Elazer's still playing blind. There's that fast lair. It's going to be a 320, so very fast lair here out of Elazer. With this, we can rush into lurkers. Remember, the way this works here for Brood War Zerg is that Hydras are hatch tech, lurkers are still lair tech. So I'm leaning towards lurker rush. Overload goes down. It is going to be +1 charge, 2-base all-in, gateway explosion. Seeing more gateways, more aggression. We're imagining up to 6 gates. Imagining up to 6 gateways, and there we go. We have 4 in the main base, 1 of the natural 5 gateways so far. Oh boy. Overseer. The hallucination will confirm the lair timing. Lair is about to finish, and we're expecting a research here. There it is. Lurker tech is on the way. And there's that 6th gateway, so it is a 2-base 6-gate all-in out of Deathmars. Elazer going 2-base lurker. The lurkers are going to be very robust here. They do a lot of splash damage, of course. They're going to be ideal defensively. I should add that as well. I should add that caveat. Defensively, they're going to be amazing. Aggressively, though, that's where things can get a little bit rowdy. Bearing in mind, the Elazer did not scout the main. Elazer's working with very incomplete information. Stargate behind this. Oracles would be ideal just for some detection. The hallucination did scout the lair and did scout the research, so Deathmars knows. He knows 100%. Double robo? This is so tech heavy on only 2 bases. Going for the Stargate for detection, going double robo for double immortal production. Again, very intense on 2 bases, whereas we could be expanding, getting a 3rd. Okay. Lurkers are morphing in. Or soon to morph in. Here they come. Lurkers are coming. Overlord scouted to the main base. Does get eyes on the gateways, on the Stargate, and on the double robo as well. Sees everything. He confirms the double robo. Lurkers are morphing in. They're morphing in. And what's surprising me here is that I would have assumed that because Elazer scouts a 2-base all in, we just defend back at home and we just get a 3rd base. Elazer, he's being aggressive. He's going to be meeting Death Mars instead. And to be fair, there is a window here in time, like pre-Mass Immortal, or sorry, pre-like Mass Immortal, pre-Stargate. One Observer has arrived. The Observer. Lurkers are exposed, but they do burrow. Yeah, massive Lurker shots, the splash damage. Oh my god. Yeah, Lurkers, they break through the Zealots. And I was expecting double Immortal production, but no. Like Immortal Archon Charge Lot, it's going to be Disruptors instead. We're going for the Novas, but Lurkers are coming in. Yeah, they're waddling forward. Lings, they bust into the main. Army gets locked down. And the Lunkers are coming. Yeah, there's everyone in the main army at the same time. Lings, they bust into the main base, they force a warp in, we do depower one of the robos, and GG gets called. Disruptors will not hit the field, and Elazer will claim the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Very proactive style here from Elazer. He sees the all-in, he scouts the all-in, and he just holds in his opponent before he can really get going. Again, very tech-heavy here out of Death Mars. I say very tech-heavy. That's my way of saying very indecisive. Remember, before even getting the Robo, what did he get? A Stargate. Didn't do anything with it. I thought it was going to go Stargate for detection and for some, like for some Void Rays or just for some Oracles just to detect, just to help deal with the Lings as well. We didn't really make use of the Stargate. Went double Robo, then into a Templar Archives and a Robotics Bay as well to go for Disruptors. So much tech delays anything that you're doing as well. So much resources spent on all this tech, and it was too late. Disruptors came online too late. We only had the one Archon as well. A Stargate never came into play as well. It looked like a very panicked response there from Death Mars, going for a bit of everything, maybe a little bit frazzled, less focused play there. GG. GG, well played. And with that, Elazer, he will claim the series 2-0. Congratulations to Elazer. That'll lead us into our next matchup, into our next best of 3. We're going to be jumping into SKillous versus Rumieth. So Elazer, he'll advance on to the semifinals. Just for some context here, tonight we're going to be covering all of the quarterfinal matches. We're going to be going through all the quarterfinals. Tomorrow will be the semis and the grand finals. Just as a heads up. But up next, we're going to be loading into a PvZ, another PvZ, this time featuring SKillous and Rumieth. Rumieth, of course, a Korean Zerg player. I would say the gap in skill here between these two should be much lower. The play here should be much closer in skill between these two. But let's go. So we are getting ready. For those who are curious, we're going to be covering SKillous versus Rumieth, followed by ByuN versus 3Point, and Zodiant versus Prome. So we will be featuring some Terran eventually. We'll get there. We will get there. Likewise, when it comes to the rest of our coverage here, because we're catching up with the SEL Masters, we're going to be catching up with the SEL Ladder Invitational as well. That'll be next week. Next week, we'll catch up with the Invitational. With the playoffs specifically, if you recall, the Ladder Invitational had like 2 group stages. Had like Group Stage 1 into Group Stage 2 into the playoffs. But we'll just be covering the playoffs. Sorry, the game was struggling a little bit loading the map. But we should be good. Gonna be loading to Sylphid. And spawning in the top right hand corner. Oh my god, whoa. Is that a new effect? I've not seen that before. In the top right hand corner of Sylphid, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. Nikita. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the SC2 Zerg player, the blue Zerg from the land of South Korea. It is Rumieth. Let's go. Let us go. We're jumping into our fresh best of 3. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't remember the Brood War Nexus glowing this much. But I could be losing my mind. It's very bright, it's very glowy. Regardless, we are going to be opening up. Going to be settling in. We do have our own. Welcome to Sylphid. Sylphid is a 3-player small map. You can spawn in top side, left side, or right side as well. We can see that SKillous is scouting bottom right, looking for his opponents. Will not find Rumieth yet. Rumieth going for his own standard opener, going hatch first. Likewise, gate expand out of SKillous as well. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. Likewise, Rumieth also scouting bottom right first. The first Overlord is sent here to the corner of the map. They will both find nothing and will eventually find each other. Eventually. S2 comes with a RGB lighting. True, true. I swear like it was not this intense before. But again, I could be mistaken. I know that the SEL team have been working on new skins. Like new skins and stuff like that. Might be related. Regardless. Elazer player is scouted, Rumieth is found. We do have a just standard hatch gas pool. And I'll be honest, I haven't really covered too much of SKillous in StarCraft Evolution recently. SKillous, he was very active a couple of months ago, and then he kind of stepped away from the game as well, stepped away from StarCraft Evo. SKillous has not been the most consistent StarCraft Evolution player, but he does have experience, for sure. He does have experience. I'll say SKillous, he's probably the best, if not one of the best players out there that has, one of the best European players out there that actually has, you know, delved a little bit deeper into SC Evo. I would say that SKillous, Elazer, Spirits, true. Be out there. Like those 3 are probably like the 3 like best foreigners that have embraced SC Evo a little bit more so than others. You could try to make an argument for Lambo, but Lambo only plays SC Evo for the big events that he's like invited to. Like he doesn't make his way over towards like the Open Cups or some of these other events. Doesn't get out of his own way to compete. Meanwhile, Lingzade will get across the map. It is a full wall here with the Zealot, thankfully. Yeah, Zealot is in position. Behind this going double Stargate mass void ray. Double Stargate mass scouts. SKillous taken to the skies. And these things, they're gonna get a lot of damage done here, but the shield battery's on the way and the first scout should soon arrive. It's still gonna be some hull damage though. Oof. Yeah, Cybercore taking a lot of hits and it looks like it's gonna go down. Yeah, nice pickup. Cybercore should fall. I say that we have now 2 Zealotlings going to be thrown away, and no, SKillous, he will save it. Yeah, Cybercore is saved. At the same time, a couple of drones do go down across the map to a Zealot run by. So nice run by, nice counterattack. Cybercore does survive. Scouts are amassing, and Rumieth, he's just now going for his own Hydra Den. So again, layer tech Hydras, or as it is with SC2. Hydras are slowly amassing. Scouts have hit the field. And we'll see what the scouts can do. We'll see what the scouts can get done. Oh. And just catch some overlords. Head towards the main. I believe 2 scouts say 2-shot drones, and 3 scouts 1-shot. But I know that a bunch of changes were made to the scouts, and there were a bunch of like value changes. Yeah, 2 shots. Ah, we remember back. So it gets 1, 2, 3 drone kills. Not bad. 3 workers do go down. Hydras are revealed. Behind us, we're going for the Bay, going into Reaver production. Sorry, the Robo. There we go. Now into the Bay, into Reaver production. To help support the Sky Toss. Meanwhile, Roomith is all in. Okay. Never mind. No threat expansion. Roomith is flooding across the map. Massing up Hydras into Hydra speed. Link speed is on the way as well for the Link Flood. And this should hit before the Reaver has popped out. Yeah, there's a cancellation. SKillous, he's aware. I mean, he saw lack of third, right? Lack of third base. Lack of expansion. He's still coming. Oh, Roomith drones. Wow, Roomith. He just saw the third, right? He just saw the lack of third base. So Roomith, he does make a couple of workers. You can see here he's thinking about expanding. Does Roomith back off, or does he commit to the all-in? Oh no, the scouts. Oh my god. Yeah, 1 scout is thrown away. SKillous does rotate though, and SKillous should be able to force a cancel here. Never mind. It's gonna be zoned away. Does scout the expansion though. This should prompt SKillous to expand himself. And because so much time has passed, Reavers have hit the field. Are we expanding towards each other? Okay, yeah, we are. So delayed Nexus, but it was a delayed third base for Roomith as well. So both players going for delayed expansions. I'll say these scouts, they've yet to really pay for themselves. They still need to achieve and gain more value here. As the scouts move out, Hydras they move in. And SKillous out of position. Completely out of position. Yeah, the base is going to be denied. They're outside of expanding towards your opponents. Behind this Reaver's a load up. And SKillous needs more damage, as mentioned. Does find some overlords at least. Gets 1, gets 2. Ooh, bleeds out of scouts. Yeah, scout does go down. SKillous still trying to expand towards Roomith. Can we bait him in? It all comes down to the Reaver shots. But again, Hydra's not really known for clumping up that much. Here come the scrap shots. Takes down 2 Hydras. Turns back the army. And we'll see if SKillous can hold. I mean, I say that. Roomith, he is taking. Station is on the way, joining up on 3 bases. Getting up to 3 base saturation. Do we take up? Does SKillous saturate that third? Looks like the answer is yes. And what is the plan here for Roomith? Are we going into Hydra Lurker Viper? Are we going into Ling Hydra Viper? In my mind, it has to be Vipers to help deal with the Reavers. But even then, you'll still take a shot to the face. Just due to how the Reaver, how it attacks. There's that hive. So players just running out their armies. When it comes to SKillous, his composition here is going to be now supported by Dragoons. We have a Dragoon heavy setup here. Our Dragoons, our Scouts, our Reavers. There's going to be plenty of anti-air as well, so it will be difficult for the Vipers to actually catch the army and move in. And SKillous is coming first. And pushing deep on creep. We lead with Reavers. God, that's a lot of scarabs. Got a lot of scarabs but built up. Yeah, they're banked up here, and we do waste a couple of shots here on Lings, but there are many. Yeah, not many Lings here. Hydras are going down. Massive scarab shots. Oof. Dragoons, they just hit a tank. And we do lose one. Yeah, one Reaver goes down. But the others, oh my god, they break through. They break through, cleans up every single Hydra. Again, the Reavers, they did so much damage here in the center of the army. As I mentioned, none of Lings. None of Zerglings. Zerglings, they're just a tank. It was just mainly Hydra. Every Hydra goes down. And with that, SKillous, he's breaking through. He's breaking through. Not the most efficient trades here towards the end, but it's fine. The boys are being pulled. Desperation out of Rumiath, and SKillous, he's done it. Yeah, he does overwhelm. Was able to hit 4 Reavers, and he gets so many Scarabs banked up. Lings, now they trickle in. We're down to 1. Una mas, Pappy, una mas. And GG. GG gets hold. There's not enough to defend, and SKillous, he will claim game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, the scouts were, I would say, a little bit lackluster. SKillous had a hard time building up and teching up. At the same time, Rumiath also was late to tech as well. It was really awkward, but both players were very late to expand, to claim their third bases. Both players wanted to be hyper-aggressive. For Rumiath here, as we were building up, he still, of course, had a chance to work towards Hive and to work towards Vipers, but I would say he did overmake Hydras. Just to emphasize, because there were so many Hydras, like, they were vulnerable. They were exposed to the Reavers. Once the Reavers broke through the Lings, and there were only a handful of Zerglings, Hydras were going down, and we were seeing very expensive trades there for Rumiath. If we did have a better and a bigger buffer for those Hydras, then there's less of a chance that the Reavers can break through, right? Then there's less of a chance. As the way Reavers work, the Scarab shots do have to work their way through the initial, like, ground army first, through that buffer zone, into the Hydras itself. But there wasn't there was no buffer. No buffer. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, SKillous does take lead in the series, and now we're getting to game number 2. We'll see if Rumiath can recover and bounce back. As game 2 is going to be on Vermeer. Okay. Highlighting into Vermeer here. Which I believe wasn't a part of the CranKy events, but spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Vermeer, we do have the red Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss, representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Broodor Zerg player. It is, from South Korea, Rumiath. So, let us go. Welcome to Vermeer. Vermeer is a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in bottom left, top right, or bottom right as well. So 4 possible spawn locations. SKillous does scout the top right-hand corner and will not find Rumiath. We'll eventually come across him though. So just scouting, searching. On a larger map like this, I would typically say that we could embrace some more mid-game play, which we have yet to really experience. But because of the close spawns, this favors aggression. The rush distance background is going to be very, very short, so expect some more heavy 2-base play between these 2 players. You can see Rumiath also scouting top left first as well. So once again, we should be seeing something more aggressive here. Last game, we saw both players go for their own 2-base play before bouncing off each other, and then was hitting with 3-base aggression. SKillous did hit first. Rumiath needs to be a little bit more decisive and crisp with his play. We've got to tighten up. Two needs to tighten things up. As SKillous confirms the opener. Does break in, does confirm. Rumiath likewise adjusting his overlords. And we're expecting Stargate play out of SKillous. We'll see if he does deviate. In the last PvZ, we saw Def Mars go for a weird, like, 2-base charge all in off of 6 gateways. We don't really expect that out of SKillous. No shot. So we have Link Speed on the way. Only keeping 2 in gas, not 3. Interesting. So it looks like we're opening up Hydra, but we're not going for a faster lair, or we're not being as tech intense as we saw previously. Yeah, we see it, third base. So going for the third. Rumeith is expanding. Rumeith at least is building up to a standard game. Meanwhile, SKillous is going for a very fast Twilight Council. Okay. So very fast cancel. This can lead into Glaive Adepts. This can lead into early charge, into a charge based all in. But again, hybrid aggression, the first step does get in. Ooh, 1, 2 drones go down. Yeah, some miss control there from Rumeith. Did move in the wrong spore, the wrong colony. Overlord will get eyes on the tech, I believe. Rumeith, he did not. Ooh, did not scout the Twilight Council. Can make an assumption based on the gateway in the main base, though. Here comes the gateway explosion. Charge base all in. There we go. Unlike Death Mars, this will not be with +1. This will be hitting faster instead. So much faster here, much more crisp. Much more aggressive. As you mentioned at the start of the game, because of the spawn locations, this does favor all-ins. It favors aggression because we do have close spawns instead, and it's going to be a tough hold. It's going to be a very tough hold. Bearing in mind that there are no banelings available here for Rumeith, and even now, where's the Hydra Den? We're going Evo Chamber before tech? Oh no, that's crazy. So very fast Evo Chamber, very fast +1 Carapace. This will not help. Now we go for a delayed Hydra Den instead. And the all-in is amassing. We're building up the army. Getting ready to move out. Hallucination will confirm how late the Hydrogen is. We'll confirm lack of lair. And we'll get eyes on some of the droning as well. Now, SKillous, he does expand forward here, but we're still waiting for charge. Like, charge is still on the way. We're going to wait for that timing. Prism is here to reinforce as well. And SKillous, who will soon pull the trigger. There is one colony, I guess, but we could always ignore it. We could always go past. Army's revealed. Now Rumeith has confirmation. Hydras are trickling in. Actually, with the timing of these Hydras, it might be enough. Yeah, the Hydras are slowly building up just in time to defend. And SKillous, he will miss his timing to break the natural instead of working towards a third. But Hydras are in position. Yeah, the Hydras are ready. Very mature decision here by SKillous. He does not commit. So behind this, we do see the Prism harassing here into the natural. But he supply block. Oh, yeah, massive supply block. Zealots, they try to move in, but alas, they get dragged into the spine. Okay, the colony defends. There's a colony in the mineral line as well, and Rumeith will shut this down. Will completely shut this down. Against SKillous, he misses window. He was supply blocked as well. Delayed timing, but did expand behind this. Sure. Did expand. And thankfully he's taking up. A lot of this is very late, a lot of this is very delayed, but SKillous is working on it. So I would say that there is some momentum or some potential here for Rumeith, and now that we're in a window of time where we have to wait for Storm and wait for all the static defense and wait for all the tech to complete, Rumeith has the potential here to tech up in towards... Do we still not have a lair? What? I was gonna say tech up towards Lurkers. There is still no lair. We're 6 minutes in. That's crazy. So still stuck on hashtag. This is where Rumeith is now being outscaled. If Rumeith is going to be stuck on Ling Hydra against Storm, of all things, like what can he do? Again, there's almost a 7-minute lair timing here to start. So that's at what, 6:45? Very late. Rumeith, he's setting up for the backstab. This side duel, I mean, again, Rumeith can't fight head on. He cannot fight this head on. So the base trade would be the best option. Skills moving in. We're going for the base trade. Let's go. It does charge forward. Rumiith going for the backstab. Does hit the natural. We're still holding on to the storms. And again, this is the best chance that Rumiith has, pushing into the natural base as well. Remember, there's always going to be a recall available. Catching the Prism. Very nice. Prism goes down. And again, we're trading bases. We're trading bases. Natural falls, now pushing up into the main base. Hydrogen is exposed. At the same time, Rumiith also... Ooh, the defensive storm. Yeah, there's a defensive storm. Rumiith does break the natural there. Cleans everything up, rotating over towards the third. And you could argue that SKillous is not killing enough. He's not killing enough. Did kill the Hydrogen, but it's being rebuilt. And this is quickly becoming critical damage. SKillous will defend his main, but we need reinforcements. We need more of an army here. Nice catch. Very nice. Oh. Yeah, one of the storms is spent. High Templar, they do get away. We have to protect those Templar. And Rumiith, he races back. He races back home to defend. Where are the storms? Ooh. One is just a zoning storm. Okay, just a zoning storm here. We still have more storms left. Another waste of a storm. Oh, never mind. The army goes in. Oh God. Rumiith. He waddles into the storm, Bappy. It does go in. Cannot give chase. Goes back into the northern storm. And now we're out of storms. Oh God, he goes back in. But now we're out of storms. With that, Rumiith, he is up in workers. Another flanking storm. But there's not enough of an army. Yeah, there's not enough zealots here. There are still so many Hydras remaining. Too many Hydras, Bappy. Too many. And SKillous has nothing. SKillous, he has nothing left. Again, in a head-on fight, he was favored. The base trade was the best option there for Rumiith. And Rumiith, he will snowball out of control. He breaks through the main army. Goes across the map as well. This is the army left for Nikita. Couple of zealots. He does have 3 Templar back at home. But honestly, Rumiith, all he has to do is just drone. Like, Rumiith still has a very high base count. The main, the natural, and a third. So just has to chill, back off, drone, saturate. As to a big shout out to Este Holy Lime in the chat. God, Pappy God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Sorry for the raid. For subscribing for 42 months, Pappy. 42 months. Crazy. Oh my god. Nice storm at the end. Now, technically, there is a world here where if we can land some juicy storms, SKillous can win a fight, but it shouldn't happen. We're only reliant on storms at this point. Now we don't want to waste them. First one is spent, only on 4 Hydras. Ooh, High Templar are exposed. Force the storm. Yeah, double storm towards the end. And there's 1 Templar left. Does morph in the Archon. I mean, Zealots are trading well for themselves. But there's still so many Hydras. Storm is spent. I mean, decent storm. Zealots chase down some of the remaining Hydras. Uh-oh. The Hydras are low. No support. No shot. There's no support here. The Hydras, they all get shut down. No Link support, Bappy. Lurker Tech is now coming into play, but SKillous, has he done it? He has. Yeah, he breaks through, he overwhelms, he gets into the mineral line. No Hydras left. Hydrogen is exposed. Again, this fight should not have gone SKillous' way, but Rumi took some storms to the face. He had very little support. Lurkers now on the way. They will burrow. There we go. They do burrow. They will defend. 0 detection. They will defend the natural, but the third should fall. The Hydrogen should fall as well. And we're counterattacking. And once again, we are counterattacking, forcing out another storm. Remember, SKillous can recall. Kills the Hydrogen. Rotating here to the top side, I'm hoping. Is that recall? There's an observer. Yeah, Zealots take a lapse in. Oof. Rumiith gets surrounded. Lurker gets cleaned up, and SKillous now has a better economy. SKillous is down 2 bases. He does kill the natural base. Rumiath is now on 1 expansion. He's on 1 base, papi. Este SKillous. Nigita. He's crazy. But again, Rumiath did take some really rough fights. Likewise, his lair was very late. We emphasize that as well. Lurkers late as a result. Looks like collapse in, and the final lurkers are going to go down. Getting 1, 2, getting all 3 lurkers. And with that, SKillous overwhelms. GG gets called, and SKillous, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Rumiath having a very rough final moments in that game where he was ahead, he was in a better position, better economic position as well, but we saw very little support for the Hydras. They were caught, there was segmented off, of course, caught in small pockets, they were overwhelmed by Zealots, and they had very little support. Again, Lair was late, Lurker Tech was late, and very little Link support as well. GG. GG, well played. In the end, SKillous did just take some better fights, did force mistakes out of Rumiath. GG. GG, well played. With that, SKillous will claim the series, and we're going to be jumping into our next matchup. So SKillous will advance on. He'll advance on into the semifinals, where we're going to be jumping into our next quarterfinals match, though. It is going to be ByuN versus 3Point. Let's go. We have our TVZ. And again, 3Point, he's more of a part-time player nowadays. 3Point, he used to devote so much time into StarCraft Evolution, like 2 years ago. But over the past year of play, 3Point has been very inactive. Very, very inactive. Like, back in the day, like 2 years ago, there was a period in time where 3Point was the best player in StarCraft Evolution. The best Zerg player, I should say. Best player as well. Back in 2024. Again, he has taken a big step back and big step away, has been much less active as of recent times, as of recent years, again focusing a little more on other aspects of his life. Great to see him again though. He's a rare sight nowadays, so I'm curious to see how he does perform against his opponents. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Zerg player, we have the Blue Zerg representing Team Hyper 1. It is 3Point. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Brood War Terran player for Shopify. It is ByuN. Here we go. So just setting up the players, setting up our names. Beautiful. But here we go. And again, yeah, 3Point. It's great to see him again. It's a really, really rare sight nowadays. I think this is maybe is this the first time this year we're casting 3Point? Hold on. Hold on. It's going to be at least a second time, right? At least a second. Let's see. 3Point. Oh, we covered him in SEL 21. Yeah. This is the Jesus. 3Point has played in 2 tournaments this year. The StarCraft Evolution League number 20 and 21. There you go. That was back in May. As we do see ByuN going for 3x. Again, this is very standard, very meta, going for 3x stim. This is going to be a very strong timing here from ByuN. Now, because this is so meta, because this is so common, this should not kill. This should not kill 3Point. 3Point should be able to prepare for this. You can go for a Baneling defense, Link Bane defense, Roach Rabbit defense, Link Queen. You can even get away with Link Queen as well, as long as you don't overdrone, right? You got to take this seriously. You got to respect it. As the Academy is on the way, Stim is on the horizon. Oh, jeez, before I get ahead of myself, though, big shout out to Sian in the chat. God, thank you so much. Obrigado, obrigado. I did notice the other notification, but we were engrossed in the game itself. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. Fala galera. For the raid, hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great cast as well. Again, for those who don't know, Cian, he is a Brazilian caster and does often cover a lot of events in Portuguese or Brazilian. So thank you so much. Obrigado, Mami. Obrigado. Always giving us support. So now Stim is on the way, halfway done. Again, one of the reasons why this Rerex hits so hard is because when the academy is complete, you can make medics to support your army and fire bats as well. Meanwhile, we have confirmation 3 is going for a Ling Queen defense. Note or delayed third expansion, but not Baneling or Roach. Okay. +1 melee. Interesting response. I'm not used to seeing this. I'm usually used to seeing either Roaches or Banelings or just mass Ling Queen with +1 carapace. +1 melee is a new addition here. We'll see how it works out. The problem here, of course, is the fire bats, right? The fire bats, they trade so well against Zerglings. We might just snowball out of control. Only 16 Lings. It's a very greedy response here from 3. ByuN moves in, Stim is done, he does Stim forward. The Lings are just now popping up, but that's what the Firebat is for, and we do get on top of the Queens. Yeah, 1 Queen does go down, he's gonna get the second. A massive shot here with the Firebat, does waste some shots on the hatchery though. Oh no, the drones! No! Oh my god, Matt. Yeah, drones, they come in too soon. That's going to be 3 Queens going down. A 3 will clean this up, but this was a very messy defense. Ay, ay, ay. We're still getting more damage, by the way. Yeah, still more damage. 9 drones, 3 Queens, and 21 Zerglings. Jesus, insane damage here for a push that was not meant to get that much, by the way. Like, behind this, we're going for U238 shells, going for a 5 racks follow-up. We have our tech here for the factory. But again, this is a very, very like messy, very greedy defense here by 3. He was punished for it. He was punished. ByuN now taking a lead. At this point, 3 is all in. He's going for a Painless Nest, smashing up Lings, no drones whatsoever. 3 is committed. And it's all or nothing for 3. It's all or nothing. Now, he might be able to catch the army here. There are no defensive bunkers. We're going in too soon. 3. This is way too soon. 3. He throws away the army. Yeah, GG. Oh, GG. Well played. ByuN, he will claim game number 1. And 3 will fizzle out. GG. Again, 3 as I mentioned before, like he is very out of shape nowadays. Like he's not as active as he used to be a couple of years ago. So this was a really rough opener. We did mention, we did try to emphasize that the +1 melee response was really weird. And again, we did overmake drones, or we did underreact. We did undermake Lings when it came to the initial timing, of course. In the follow-up, we were going to go for a Bane Bust all in, but did pull the trigger a little bit too soon. GG. GG, well played with that. ByuN, he will claim a lead in the series. We'll see if 3 can recover and bounce back. Let's go. Let's go. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I hope that we get to sink our teeth into this ZVT. ZVT is always a lot of fun. Would love to sink our teeth into it. But now it's going to be a bit of a role reversal here as we're getting into game number 2. And we are going to be committing here to the same races, actually. So remember, it is loser's pick. So 3 he is he's choosing to stay with SE2 Zerg. ByuN will be sticking with Brood War Terran. Let us go. At least 3 decisive. Yeah, sure. I kind of. I mean, you say that he had a Baneliness on the way, but didn't go for the bust. So, I would probably say that was a little bit indecisive, but sure. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're going to be loading into Radion. Oh, we don't often get to see this map, so I appreciate that. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Brood War Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Purple Zerg, representing Team Hyper 1. It is 3 points. So, let us go. I do need a moment though to set up our player name. One moment. As we are purple. Beautiful. Okay, and welcome one all here to Radion. Radion is a 3-player small map. You can spawn in top right, top left, bottom left, and bottom right as well. So 4 possible spawn locations. I have to whip out my Google Lens. Hold on. So there is a bit of an RNG factor. We could potentially have had some cross spawns here for a longer rush distance by ground. Unfortunately for 3 point, we do have close spawns. This does typically favor Terran. We do have these close horizontal spawns, so shorter rush distance. This does favor aggressive timings. I'm making the assumption that ByuN is going to go for the same through X build. Making that assumption. Meanwhile, I'm lacking context here. 3 point, he said here, SEC Zerg, he said that he would do it. I don't know if he's referring to the build that ByuN went for, or that he's going for, but we are going for something different here. Okay, so I was expecting a 3-Rex, but no, it's going to be racked at a factory. It's looking like potentially even double factory, massive vulture play. It's looking like ByuN is going to mech it up. So eyes are on ByuN. Show us the second factory, show us the mech. Technically, the other option this could be is a 1-1-1 into like double starport mass wraith, but that's mainly done against Protoss and Terran, not against Zerg. So we're expecting a second factory. No, he's going for the 1-1-1. Are we going? He is going double star. Okay, 2-port wraith. Okay. We mainly, as I just said, we mainly see this against Protoss and Terran, but okay, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. So for those that are curious, this is a build that has been plaguing the meta as of late, has been very, very strong in certain aspects and against certain matchups, of course. The Wraith is similar to the Banshee. It's a very fast unit, very fast. It has a lot of harassing potential, of course, can hunt down overlords very nicely, has a lot of very strong anti-air, and when you mass up enough of them, it has some solid anti-ground as well. This has been quite prevalent in TVT against like Viking compositions to gain air control to dominate the ground as well. We've been seeing this a lot in TVT. In TVP, I would say that we've been seeing this when it comes to like a harassing opener into like a follow-up, into a transition. Haven't seen this too much against Zerg, so we'll see how this does pan out. Meanwhile, we're going for what looks to be a Roach all-in. Is this just a hard counter? Like insanely fast lair, taking all 3 gases, no third expansion. It looks like 3 points going for a Roach all-in, which would be hard countered against 2-port, 2-base Wraith. Wraiths are revealed. Remember, Roaches don't shoot up. Oh boy. Now, we do already have the lair, so there we go. I was going to say that we can make the decision to go for a Spire or a Hydroden, so Hydroden is on the way. But the biggest issue here is that, remember, this was supposed to be an all-in. We already invested into Roaches, into Roach speed, into Roach army, and this is dead supply. This is basically a waste of money. This could have been a 3rd base, could have been drones, could have been better saturation, but this has led into nothing. So a really rough start here for 3 points. And now he's forced to drone, whereas he originally didn't want to drone. The plan was not to drone up. behind this. So it's going to be 2-port Mass Wraith into Bio Tank as the follow-up. I mean, ByuN just scouted, right? He just scouted that it's going to be Roach Hydra. He just saw all the tech at the natural. ByuN is aware. Ooh, we'll lose 1 Wraith, bit of miscontrol. Taking a lot of hits. And ByuN is setting up. Now, the biggest issue here is that 3-point still is not expanded. Going into Hydras is nice and all, but the fact that there's still no expansion tells us that 3-point, he still wants to all in. That's the vibe that I'm getting here. And ByuN is building up a superior army. Just building up a greater army. The SimCity here is working against 3-point. Oh, does pick up 1 Wraith. Remember, we're done with Wraiths at this point. And still no expand. Okay, here it comes. So very delayed third base here by 3-point. Link speed has begun. And it's just a really rough position to be in. 3-point has to make the decision, like, do I still go for the all-in and just use the third base for Larva? Do I try to macro out of this instead? Do I try to drone? Knowing that I'm behind to have a chance in the mid-game. That's going to be a cancel. It's going to be a cancellation. Third base is denied. Now, 3-point, I don't believe he hasn't seen the defensive setup here. He's not aware of what's been building up. But I don't see him breaking the siege line. Like, no shot. Not pre-sieged. Like, there is a chance where if 3-point can maybe engage the army with the tank unsieged like this, out in the center of the map, then there's a chance, 100%. That's the best case scenario for 3-point. Just catch the army unsieged. The issue is that in ZVT, typically the Zerg player needs to be up in expansion, up a base, up an economy to be even with the Terran. Because we're even on bases and even on setup, ByuN, as I mentioned, just has the better army. Just has the larger setup, the better army, the more efficient army. Oh. ByuN the siege! Yeah, ByuN the siege. He will catch, 3 Hydras. Some heavy losses here for 3-point. He's going to get the hell out of here. He cannot fight like this. Oh my god. Yeah, bleeding out all the roaches, the lings. Hydra's going to be going down. Heavy losses for 3-point. And ByuN, he can just stim. He can just stim and win. He doesn't even need the tanks. Oh my god. He doesn't need them. With them, though, it will secure this fight. Now, with that, he was out of control. Breaks through all the Hydras, breaks through the Queens as well. The army sims in. We just have some reinforcements trickling in. The third base is still trying to get up and running. But last ByuN is wedging himself in between the third and the natural. In between the bases. Once again, massive tank shots. Down to 5 Hydras. Just getting free damage on the third. And ByuN is just rallying. Just rallying forward. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, just really unfortunate builds. Winding it back, it was almost a build order. It was like a build order win there for... I don't want to say build. It was a build order advantage, at least for ByuN. Winding it back, remember, ByuN, he did decide to go for a 2-port, 2-base Mass Wraith, and 3-point at the same time was blindly going into a 2-base Roach all-in. Suddenly, when the Mass Wraiths arrived, it's like, oh, the all-in isn't going to work anymore, right? The Roach all-in has kind of fallen on his face. I have to transition. I have to now get into a Hydra Den. I'm now stuck on 2 bases because the third base is non-existent, because the plan was to go for a Roach all-in to begin with. So 3-point was in a really awkward position because the initial plan was completely shut down. So he had to try to deviate from his initial plan into something and try to be a little bit more flexible, into something greater. He went into Hydra, so I assumed it was going to be a Hydra all-in, but it was so late and so delayed. In the end, 3-point agreed with that sentiment, which is why he tried to get a third base, but that was also cancelled and delayed as well. It was just a really rough early game from 3-point, which did have influences, of course, in the mid game as well because of the rough start. GG. GG, well played. With that, ByuN, who will claim the series. We'll claim the series 2-0. And with that, we have one series left here. It's going to be a best of three. Best of three between Zodiant and Pro. Let's go. Here we go. I think ByuN is the biggest grinder in SE2. He's in all the tournaments. I think I would agree. There were periods in time where I would have said like that was like maybe like a Max Pax or Clem, for example. I think I would say that maybe Dark was a bigger grinder when he was active, but Max Pax and Clem have been less active as of late. Dark, of course, military. So yeah, ByuN, he's definitely playing in the most, playing in everything, Pappy. Everything he can. All the StarCraft. As we are loading into our fresh series, into our best of three. Game 1 is going to be on Vermeer. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Vermeer, we have the pink Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss, representing among SE2 people. It is Prone. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the SE2 Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Team Hyper 1. Is that new? Is he a new addition? It is. Zodiant. Hold on, look at this up. There we go. As we are getting into our fresh series, into our fresh best of three. Oh, let's go! Prome is going for the proxy. He's going for the proxy dead set in the center of the map. Welcome to Vermeer. Vermeer again is a 4-player spawn map, so we go for the Gamba, dead set in the center of the map. And Prome, he will find Zodiant immediately as well. The Gamba is paying off. Yeah, the Gamba does pay off. But yeah, sorry, so in my mind, Zodiant was on Hokago T team, but it looks like he left Hokago T team and he did join Hyper 1. Okay. Need to remember that. So did join Hyper 1. Behind this, we have our Gateway Explosion. Again, one base all in. Zodiant is playing blind. He does not know. He's now going for the SCV scout, thankfully. Scouting top left. This is very lucky, actually. Very like there's so much RNG in this game, in like this game specifically. Like this game 1 between these two players. Zodiant does scout top left. If he had scouted bottom right first, then he would have no idea. Because he scouts top left, he sees that there's a gateway missing. Right? He sees a cybercore on the way. He knows the gateway is missing. He knows something is wrong. Bunker immediately here. So Zodiant, he has extra time to react, extra time to respond. Setting up on the high ground. Meanwhile, it's going to be Proxy Dragoon. Cybercore is done. And here come the Dragoons. Making 3 Dragoons at a time. And the longer this goes on, the better it should be for Zodiant. Remember, Zodiant has a second CC, which you can morph into the orbital, extra mules, extra SV production. Behind this, you can work towards a Cyclone or a tank. We do have options here when it comes to the supportive units here that we're going to have. Zodiant, he's aware of the Cybercore as well, so he knows it's going to be at least Proxy Dragoon. It might even be Proxy Robo, for all he knows, like Proxy Robo, Proxy Reaver. But now he confirms. Yeah, he sees. Yeah, does see all the Dragoons. Now he knows. We need the Tech Lab on the way. Yeah, Tech Lab has begun. With the revelation that this is Dragoon, we should be going into Proxy Tank. The Reaper should get eyes on whether or not there's an expansion. We'll kill the probe, we'll delay the Nexus. And Prome, he turns everything back around. Prome, he knows the all-in has failed. Yeah, the all-in has failed, turns around to kill the Reaper. There's the expansion. But this Reaper is doing so much across the map here. Should not get surrounded with good enough control. Zardian is popping up. Gets 1, 2, 3 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Very nice damage. And behind the Zardian can now expand. Can now look to expand. Tank is setting up on the high ground. This high ground is actually able to cover the entire entrance to the natural. So tank shot does go up. And Zardian is ahead. Again, Zardian has an orbital base already up and running. Nexus is still only halfway done for Prime. So again, the proxy has failed. Zardian has defended. Another tank shot goes off. We gotta respect the tank. Respect the tank. And from here we can just build up on 2 bases. From here we're setting up to our 3-1-1 setup. ByuN tank here out of Zardians. Vikings on patrol just in case. And Prome has a lot of catching up to do. Ooh, are there any defensive Dragoons? The problem here is the production's in the middle of the map, so the Dragoons are completely out of position. Just free damage here. 5 probe kills and we're not done with setting up in the main. And we're going to deny any kind of mining in the main base. Ay, ay, ay. This is game-ending damage. This is insane. But 0 Dragoons in position. 9 probes, 0 mining in the main base. We do reposition the liberation zone. The freedom back. 10 probes. Ay, ay, ay. Sign shots are going up. It does focus on 1 tank at least, but only 1. Remember, there's a mischance as Dragoons they try to fight up the cliff face. We did actually stop tank production. That's concerning. Yeah, that is a bit of concern. But again, Prome bleeds out so many Dragoons. Second tank has arrived. Oof. That was how many? That was 8 Dragoons going down. 7 in total. This position should not be broken. As a result, Zardian, he feels the freedom to go for a drop. Does go for the counter drop. Back at home, there's no recall. There's nothing in position. This is going to be a kill move for Zardians. Remember, the Protoss army is very immobile. There's no defensive warpmans. There's no recall. Not without the Arbiter. And GG. GG gets called. Zardians, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. He'll claim a lead in the series in a very intense game here, and a lot of RNG getting involved as well when it comes to the proxy, because it's a 4-player map and because it was a 1-base all-in. Prome, he did find his opponent immediately when he was setting up his proxy. Very fortunate that Zardian found Prome's spawn location as quickly as he did, because that confirmed that the gateway was missing. That prompted Zardian to get his bunkers up and running and to be hyper defensive and get his CC on the high ground as well. So very, very safe play there by Zardians. Very nice scouting, of course. Did find his opponent to confirm the all-in coming his way, the proxy. GG. GG well played. And with that, Zardian did snowball out of control. Now we're going to be loading into game number 2. Going to be loading into Keras Passage. Okay. We're getting to our next game. Getting into our next matchup. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Karis Passage, we have the pink Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss, the SC2 Protoss player now. Representing among SC2 people, it is Prome. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Terran player, himself, representing Team Hyper 1, it is Zardiant. Let's go. Let us go. We are jumping into our second game here of the series. Zardiant, he's up 1-0, and we'll see if he can close this out. We've been seeing nothing but 2-0s so far. Nothing but 2-0s in our broadcast here tonight. Do we finally get an ace match? I still feel like that SKillous game should have led us to game 3, not gonna lie. Like the Skills versus Rumia. Yeah. It's crazy. We shall see. As now we are just going for our own CC first. So CC first out of Zardiant, being a little bit greedier. Prome does move out, and this time Prome has his gateway and is set up back at home. No proxies, no shenanigans. Not this time. Likewise from here, Zardiant, he is known for his mech, I should emphasize. So if we do build up into the mid game, there's especially with Brood War Terran, yep, I'm expecting to see. I was gonna say I'm expecting to see mech, but to be fair, like the 2-port race style could also be featured here as well. That we saw out of ByuN earlier in the broadcast. That is another possibility, for sure. Sure. So we're having a bit of a more tame start. I say, sorry, my apologies. I was halfway going for an all-in. I say a tame start. No expansion, no nexus here. We're going for 2-3 gateways back at home. 1 gateway across the map is going to be a 1 base 4 gate all-in, and it is 2-port. It is 2-port mass wraith. So we did allude to this earlier. I think Prome just wins, to be honest. Because we're spending so much money here on our starports, that means no defensive tanks. That means very little just defensive units, just period. There's almost nothing here. We're spending so much money here on these setup for wraiths, but I believe the all-in will hit first. I believe the all-in does hit first here. And it's gonna be rough. Aye. Don't like this, Pappy. Don't like this. Yeah, Stalkers, they warp in. And hey, I wanted to see an ace match at one point in this series, or in this broadcast. We're gonna get it. Because Prome moves in, knocks down the front door, takes down the bunker. And then no repairing time. Boys being pulled. And there's just nothing. Even with these wraiths popping out, they're just gonna be shut down by the Stalkers. GG, well played. Prome, he gets a build or a win against Zardiant. GG, well played. Build or a win here, winning it back. Remember, it was just a 1 base all in against a 2-port 2 base mass wraith. Because we're going 2-port 2 base, that means no tank production, limited marines, just limited units in general. We're just building up everything into double starport, which means there was nothing to defend. Nothing to defend. GG, well played. With that, we're going to the ace match. we got an ace match. We did get an ace match tonight. It's not the way that we wanted, but it's fine. It's fine. We got there. We're going to game 3. As Prome was able to hard counter his opponent and snowball out of control. So from here, we're now going to be loading into the Ace Match. The final game of the series is going to be loading into Holy World. Prime has gone for non-stop one-base all-ins. We saw that in Game 1. We saw that in Game 2. Do we finally expand or do we commit? Oh, as we do have cross spawns. Spawning in the bottom right, in the top right-hand corner of Holy World, we have the pink Protoss player, the pink Protoss player himself, the South Korean Protoss, tying up the series 1-1 in that last game. The brutal Protoss player, it is Prome for Among Us 2 people. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have the teal Terran, the teal Terran player, the SC2 Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is Zodiant. Let's go. Let us go. Another fellow ducky. Hello, my child. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. Quack, quack. As we're going for one base all in. We're setting up for the one base all in. Here we go. We do have the proxies dead set in the center of the map. Welcome to Holy World. It is a 4-player spawn map. Prome is searching for his opponent and will eventually find Zodiant. Meanwhile, Zodiant is going to be stuck on the low ground. Okay, a couple things here. When it comes to this map specifically, when it comes to Holy World, due to the terrain, it is a low ground main base. You do have the high ground at the natural, which is crazy. So a one base all in can use this terrain against the defending player here. Defending a one base is so difficult on Holy World. Now Zodiant did opt to go for a Rax first, but there's a little potential here for Prome to pop off with this due to the map itself, as Prome will find his opponent. We'll find Zodiant. Zodiant at the same time does go for the cross scout immediately. And once again, Zodiant, he will gamble correctly, and he will find the missing gateway. Zodiant knows. Factory has begun. We're still waiting for the Cybercore to finish. Oh, okay. I mean, we have 3 gates in the center. We can proxy the 4th gateway, of course. Can set up for the proxy. We can and we will. Battery is now on the way. Batteries on the way. Dragoons are going to be rallying over. We do have that high ground advantage. So it is not a proxy 4th gate, just 3 gateways in the center. Mass Dragoon. We have the battery support. Oh, true. We can knock down the back door. I forgot about that. We have 2 back doors here into the main base as well. I mean, again, this just shows how difficult it is to defend. And Zodiant, he sees this, but the reaction, no reaction, is getting a second bunker here at the ramp. There's nothing here. The SCVs, let him know, papi, let him know. The rocks. Yeah, the rocks are being knocked down. He doesn't notice. Yeah, Zodiant, he does not notice. He floats over the racks. He sees the battery. He will get 1 tank shot. Oh. And Dragoons, they do slip in. Oh, a bit of miscontrol. There we go. Now notices. Yeah, Zodiant, he does reposition. Dragoons, they're just barely out of range. Oh, does move too close. But 0 mining. With that 0 mining in the main base. Going for the proxy starport instead. Zodiant, he needs money. Oh god, where are we going? We're trying to get in. We're trying to get into the tank. Yeah, mass repair and Dragoons are being thrown away. Messy move here from Prome. Does get 9 SCVs, okay. Does get 9 workers. Does get some economic damage. Now there's a second tank. We have to stay out of range. Oh no! Oof. Look, we're losing 3 Dragoons. So some messy control there from Prome, bleeding out a lot of Dragoons. At the same time, there's not much mining going on. There's not much mining. Tank is repositioning. Liberator's on the way. Remember, there's nothing at home to defend. We're getting messy. We're getting messy. Oof. Takes down 16 STVs. Oof. Yeah, still bleeding out more Dragoons here. Does get another couple of workers. 3 more SCVs go down in a mule. He is moving in. Elazer, he's slowly recovering here. Prome is getting a natural, thankfully, so he can at least take an economic lead, and Prome backs off. Yeah, Prome is backing off. We have a Robo on the way, natural base on the way. Prome is looking to try to expand out of this and macro out of this. At the same time, Zardiant already has a second command center, so he can already make 2 SCVs at a time. He has extra mules as well. Who do we favor in this position? I favor Zardiant. Zardiant is going to be able to have a faster 2-base economy due to the fact that the orbital's been done this entire time, and extra mules. As you can see, mules are going to be landing. Here it is, built up his tank count as well. I don't see Zardiant pushing anytime soon, but he is going to be able to continue that harassment. So far, Zardiant, he did kill 2 probes across the map. Nothing too major, but the Banshee is coming. Cloak Banshee even. Oh god. Thankfully, there is going to be detection. The observer has arrived. Quick Banshee is going to hit too late. And the game will continue. We're hoping that we don't throw the Banshees away. We're waiting for the second Banshee anyway. 2 Banshees, they can one-shot probes. In one shot. We could actually see Zardiant, upon scanning the main army and scanning the main base, he could actually rotate towards the natural. There's a little more potential for damage here. True. He could make that decision. Zardiant does actually turn back around. Oh, he's going to help break out. Okay. Instead of harassing the natural base, he's going to turn around and he's going to help deal with these Dragoons. No detection. Not yet. Oh, with the observers coming in. Observer does come in. Manages to get 1 Dragoon kill so far. They get 2. Snipe 2 Dragoons. Oh, we'll lose 1 Banshee. That's a better trade here for Prome. Bearing in mind that because this backdoor was opened up, honestly, Zardiant could just expand here. He doesn't have to expand on the top side if he wanted to. But he wants to try to break out. Oh my god, the tank shots. Oh, massive tank shots going off. Dragoons, they clamp me up. No! Yeah, they clump up. A very rough fight for Prome. He throws everything away. He's pushing into 4 tanks. He's crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, very brutal fight here. Prome throws away 11 Dragoons. Ay, ay, ay. There was no need to push into that map. Oh god. Push into 4 tanks, lost 11 Dragoons, and with that, Zardiant does expand. Does break out, does expand. Ay, ay, ay. Prome, por favor. We're getting messy. Getting very messy. Yeah. And again, Prome just has to chill. So we just gotta calm down, get a 3rd base, like try to build up, defend back at home, just contain. Does try to move in. Boys being pulled. Can he get one of the tanks? Ooh, he can. But the tank blows are brutal. Yeah, some brutal tank shots. Bleeding out of the 4 Dragoons. These are expensive losses. At the same time, banishes their backstab. They hit the natural. Where's the observer? No, the observer's nowhere to be found. The observer's across the map. Not like this. We can just keep going. Zardian, he's playing safe. He doesn't know where the observer is, of course, but we could be getting more damage. That's still 8 probes going down. That's still good, nonetheless. Still solid. Zardians can now claim his 3rd base. Checking for a 3rd himself. Searching for expansions. He's searching. And the game is going to slow down. We're slowing things down. Zardian should not push anytime soon. There's no reason for Zardian not to just get a 3rd base, get a 4th base, and max out, just turtle up here on 4 bases. Even going for a, if I remember, I thought it was a ninja base, but the starport did float back over. Getting more value. Remember, the battery does nothing. We can one-shot. Oof. Takes out another 6 probes. 6 more workers go down. Dragoons, they have no blink, they can't keep up. And in a longer macro game, Zardian, he is Prome, he is falling apart a little bit here. Getting into Storm. But the low base count is really hurting him. Again, like Zardian is turtling up back at home. Prome needs to take advantage of that and mass expand, get a 3rd base, get a 4th base, pro buzz as best as possible. Without doing so, Prome is falling behind. He's falling further behind. Double Stargate into Sky Toss makes sense, but we need an economy to sustain this. He needs an economy back. We're going back in. Not again. Okay, this time Dragoons are ready. We're going to mass scouts. No fleet beacon yet. Branches there finally going to be cleaned up. Finally. Cleaned up. They shut down. And my assumption was that Zardian was just going to chill back home and get a 4th base, but no, off of a 3-base setup, he is moving out. He's dropping. So Zardian going for a Dream Drop. As he moves out, Prome is moving in. We might try to force a base trade, but back at home we have a full wall, and we have a massive wall of tanks. An attempted base trade would benefit Zardians, as ideally he wants to force this army to counterattack and to push into this into the siege line. As Prome, he's staying back home. Finally getting his own 3rd. Zardian unloads. Who reacts first? Does them in. That's EP. Gets 1, 2, 3 scouts and the observer. Knocking down the 3rd base. Prome is out of position. Racing back over. This base should fall. Yeah, it's gonna go down. From here we can just pick up. Now cast against the Zealots. Jesus, every Zealot goes down. Respect the Storm though. No, no Storm. Yeah, Templar falls. More Templar coming in. There's the Storm. Now Zardian pulls away. So far it was worth it. Snipes the third expansion. Trades well against the Zealots. Catching out all the scouts. Zardian just checking more bases, just making sure there are no other expansions. And GG gets called, no final fight. And Zardian T will claim the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Zardiant will claim the series. Again, Zardiant, he was able to weather the storm, defend back at home. Initially, I favored Prome's position when he was containing Zardiant, but Prome took him a long time to expand, and also Prome overextended. We saw multiple times Prome push into siege lines, did not respect the tanks, did not respect the siege lines, bleeding out so many Dragoons, where it could have taken things a little bit slower, could have contained a little bit better, and could have taken faster expansions and built up into a greater mid-game. Prome, though, he had more aggression on the mind. He just wanted to end the game early and tried to get more value. In the end, I would say that Prome's aggression hurt him more than helped him, right? It was his downfall in the end, and it all just fell apart. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Zardian. Will claim the series, the only ace match of the quarterfinals. Let's go. Let us go. With that, that does mean we have our top 4 players here. It is going to be Elazer advancing on over Deathmars, SKillous advanced on over Rumiath, ByuN over 3-Point, and Zardiant over Prome. So we had our 4 players advancing on. Tomorrow we're going to be back with the semis. Tomorrow we're going to be covering the semifinals and the grand finals. It's going to be Elazer versus SKillous and ByuN versus Zardiant in best of 5s. Bear that in mind. Sorry, I misspoke. It's going to be SKillous versus ByuN and Elazer versus Zardiant. There we go. Okay, so Elazer versus Zardiant, ByuN versus SKillous. These are going to be in best of 5s, and that'll lead into the grand finals. That's the plan. That is the plan here for tomorrow. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up here for the morning when it comes to the rest of our schedule, the rest of our broadcast. Once again, I do apologize for going live a little bit late today. Do apologize. But as you can see here, we do have our weekly schedule. What do we have later on tonight? The ISSL, the Into the Inu Super StarCraft League. That is going to be this evening. That's going to be in around 8 hours. In 8 hours' time. We're going to be live with the ISSL here on the channel. Tomorrow, we're going to be live with the RSL. That's going to be tomorrow evening, over the weekend, and more SEL content. You can see there, StarCraft Evolution League on Friday and Saturday, RSL Saturday, Sunday, tonight, Friday evening, ISSL. We got you. We got you covered there with the Into the Inu StarCraft League. There's a new weekly tournament here for the Korean scene, for the Korean region. We will be all over it. We'll be there, man. We'll be there. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up. Otherwise, going to be wrapping up here for the time being, wrapping up here for the morning at least. Again, I'm going to be getting some rest, getting some food, just getting ready here for the evening broadcast of the ISSL. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Stick around. We're doing another StarCraft stream, a raid. When it comes to more SEL content, I'm going to be live tomorrow. And next week, we'll be covering the SEL Ladder Invitational. We're going to be there as well. Some more StarCraft Evolution. Also, if you missed out on last night's podcast, I do recommend checking it out. We did cover the podcast last night. Did cover it. So do consider checking it out. Otherwise, just looking for someone to raid. Which looking for someone back. We can give some love to Jaguar. Yeah, we'll give him some love. But with that, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys later on tonight for the ISSL or tomorrow for some SEL. If you want to support us, you can do so by following us on all the socials. Again, we do stream on Twitch, but also on YouTube, and we upload on YouTube every single day, so plenty of content over on YouTube. It is all there. Likewise, you can also support us on Patreon. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments on a regular basis. We have the longest running Open Cup out there in all of StarCraft, so you can support it over on the Patreon. Otherwise, I'll see you tonight or tomorrow. See you next time. See you next time. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.